C4 and C5, and there's a factor, it's 0.6%, so his time is marked down to 1.13799. And next onto the track we have Imre Torok of Romania. Torok currently ranked 33rd in the world on the road. A couple of years ago he was ranked as high as 9th on the track, and so his obviously initial target is to beat Golbanejad, but there are 22 cyclists here. As I say, it is entirely individual. It's the times that matter. You're not racing against the people who've gone before, you're racing against everybody. There's the countdown, and Torok, to wild applause from packed house here at the velodrome. Time to beat. So at 250 meters, he's at 22 seconds. As I say, the world record held by Jody Cundy of Great Britain. 65 seconds, just over 65 seconds. Around 500 in 38. And Imre Torok now. The average speeds, by the way, of these cyclists are absolutely fantastic. First competitor, the Iranian, 48.781 kilometers per hour. Torok is a C5 cyclist, so there'll be no factoring in his time. This is the final bend, comes round to the finish. 1.13774. So, well, he's slightly the faster, but that's fairly marginal, and on a quick track it will be, I would think, quicker times that win the medals. A home nation, Great Britain, have a couple of real medal hopes, along with a Chinese rider, a Spaniard, Cabello, Buska of the Czech Republic. They're all to come later, though. So 22 single individuals, and there we see Torok just finishing his ride. He's come a long way. Paralympic cycling, originally developed as a sport for blind athletes who competed using tandem bicycles, but the advances in technology have been such they have opened up the sport to a far wider range of athletes, so much so that cycling is now the 3rd largest sport on the Paralympic programs. Next up is Cohen Sahova of Belgium. Lots of support, as you can probably hear, for the Belgian cyclist. What wonders of technology are these modern bikes? So Cohen Sahova is in the C4 class, so his time will be factored slightly downwards by 0.6 of a percentage. And again, the crowds have been wonderful to all the athletes throughout the Olympics and in the early stages of the Paralympics here at London 2012. It comes round for the first 250 metres. Did that at 22 seconds. No strategy as such to the individual time trials. It's just full pelt, fast as you can, get the quickest start you can, and pedal like fury. 4 laps of the track. He's nearly completed 3. And up to about maximum speed now. And we're going just under 50 kilometers per hour at this stage. This is competitor number 10, the Belgian Sahova. His time will place him 3rd out of the 3 though. 1.14689, as I say. That will be factored, or sorry, that is the factored time, 1.15.140, so that has been factored down to 1.14689. Well, his face a study of concentration there. In the time trials, the cyclists with the different classifications actually competing against each other. And this process, called factorings, actually used in order to take into account the severity of the disability of each competitor. So it is the cyclist with the fastest time after those times have been factored. So all the C5 class, their times stand as raced, and the C4 class, you have this 0.6% factoring. Next up, the Brazilian, João Alberto Schwintfilo. He is a C5 athlete, 3 times world champion medalist, won a silver in 2011 in a road race and a couple of bronze. He also won the C5 class overall at the 2012 Paracycling World Cup. So final preparations there for Schwintfilo, born in 1977. This level, of course, it's very technical in terms of split seconds, can be vital, can mean the difference between a medal and no medal. So in terms of preparation, everything has to be right. So Schwintfilo getting up to speed now. I guess first target mark, the 1:25, and then round to the first lap of the track. You see on the time to beat, he is the fastest so far, is the Brazilian. The case at 3:75 as well. Now around to the 500-meter time. Yeah, still currently the quickest then, Xinyang. So this will be the best time so far if he can maintain this. Oh yes, quickest so far. 1:11.259 for João Alberto Xinyang of Brazil, the 34-year-old. Goes into the lead, but we've only had 4 of the 22 competitors so far. 1:11.259 his confirmed time. And he's the first man so far to average a speed of over 50 kilometers per hour, 50.519 kilometers per hour. So there are the standings and confirmation that he is in the lead, the Brazilian, Xinyang. Torok of Romania currently in second place. A long way down the track. But lots of competitors still to come. 18 of the 22 still to come. And next up we will have the Cuban, Damien, Lopez, Alfonso. Actually gained entry to the Paralympic Games here on a wild card. He competed at the 2012 World Championships. He actually finished 19th, which was last position in the 4-kilometer pursuit. Lopez Alfonso was electrocuted at the age of 13. He was actually out playing with his toy kite. Tried to retrieve it from power lines and that resulted in the facial disfigurement you can see and the amputation of lower limbs. The 35-year-old Damien Lopez Alfonso from Cuba is the 5th competitor to go. We're just outside the time to beat. And that's in the left of your screen. The time to beat is the time of the fastest competitor round each stage of the course. So now at 3:75, he's got to be at 30.5. He's just outside that. He won't be quite as quick, it appears, as Xinyang. But the crowd are certainly warming to the Cuban. There's the bell for the last 250 metres then. And now round to the finish. Well, it won't put him inside of the medals, but it's been a very, very brave performance from Damien Lopez Alfonso. His time 1:16.947. That's factored down to 1:16.485. So he's last of the 5 we've seen so far, and yet still averaging a speed of over 47 kilometers per hour. Sixth to go is Morton Yar of Norway. The youngest man we've seen so far, 28 years of age. Again, a C4 competitor, so his actual time will be factored downwards. This is his 3rd Paralympics. He competed in 2004 and 2008. Despite being just 28 years of age, he has been competing internationally for 11 years now. Keen fisherman, Morton Yar, actually born with a short right leg. And pushes off with the left. Again, the time to beat in the left-hand corner. At the moment, he is ahead of the Brazilian rather, Schwint-Filo. At the quarterway stage, still almost a second ahead of João Alberto Schwint-Filo of Brazil. Now, can he maintain this pace? Yar coming round to the halfway point. No, he's lost a little bit of time there now. He's a second, more than a second, in fact, behind. The bell for the last lap then for Morton Yar of Norway. Time-wise fallen off the pace a little now. But still, warm applause from this London crowd. 1:16.043 is his factored time, and that puts him in 5th place out of the 6 competitors. The Norwegian will be among the medals then. At the moment, it's still Schwint-Filo of Brazil in a time of 1:11.259, who leads in this men's individual C4 and C5 1 kilometer time trial final. And later on at the velodrome, of the 18 cycling medals, we've got another 3 still to come this afternoon: the C1, the C2 and the C3 pursuits. And in the qualification this morning, we saw world records tumble. So there, Schwint-Filo leads by a couple of seconds, more than 2 seconds in fact. Like more than 2.5 seconds. So at the moment, he is the man to beat. As we see another Brazilian, his compatriot Soalito Gore, C5 athlete. So his finishing time will stand as it is. He's a 2 times world road champion in 2009 and 2010. He broke the nerve plexus in his left shoulder and his neck in a road accident 17 years ago. So the 38-year-old Brazilian just waits for the countdown. Well, that wasn't the brightest of starts from Soalito Gore. I wonder if he can bounce back. Well, he's certainly got some speed up now, no question about that. And he's leading at the quarterway stage. If he can maintain this pace, he will overtake his compatriot Schwint-Filo. Just lost a little time in that second quarter of the race. So now he races round to the 625-metre mark. And then this will be three-quarter way, 54.431. No, he's well outside that now. Takes the bell. He's not going to upstage his compatriot Schwint-Filo here. (1:13.017). Puts him into second place though. So at the moment we have a Brazilian 1 and 2. João Alberto Schwint-Filo leading. Soalito Gore, the rider you're looking at now, is currently in second place. Well, that was not the best start out of the blocks, but he recovered very, very quickly. And at one stage, he was ahead of the game. He couldn't maintain the pace. But he's in second place at the moment. And as we come to the 8th competitor. And next up we'll see C4 athlete, the Colombian Diego Hermann Duenas Gomez. He's won the award already for the most colourful helmet. That's a very snazzy number from the Colombian. Finished 11th at this year's World Championships in this event, in the 1 kilometre time trial. He used to be a skater, now has permanent nerve damage and a loss of sense in his left leg, because 5 years ago in a competition he actually suffered a skating accident which left him with a couple of broken legs. Colombian is coached by a Norwegian, Trond Lunashaug. So more than half a second ahead of Schwint-Filo at the 1:25 mark, now at 2:50. Almost half a second in the lead. But we've seen others ahead of Schwint-Filo until the latter stages of the race. But at the moment it's going well, 38.485 to beat. He's still just ahead of the Brazilian at the halfway stage. Now round to the 625-metre mark, but no, he's lost a little bit now. And he's 0.24 behind the Brazilian. Now 0.18 behind him. Takes the bell. 125 metres to go. It's going to be tight, this. What's he got up his sleeve in the finish? Time to beat 1:11.689, 1:11.959 for Diego Hermann Duenas Gomez. Will put him into second place. He's only the second man to go above 50 kilometres per hour. So good ride from the Colombian. think he'll be pretty pleased with that. 0.268 behind the leader. Confirmation there of the standings. 8 of the 22 cyclists have ridden this final, and still Xinyang of Brazil leads. The rider you just saw, the Colombian Diego Hermann Duenas Gomez, is now in second place. And so to rider number 9, Wolfgang Sacker of Germany. "45 years of age, Sacker. And he is a man with pedigree, won 3 medals at the Paralympic Games in 2008. A gold in the time trial on the road, on the track. He won the silver in the 4-kilometer pursuit and bronze in this event, the 1-kilometer time trial. So away he goes. Sacker was electrocuted many years ago, 29 years ago, when he was playing on an old train, as you can see, resulting in the amputation of his left arm and several of his toes. And he's doing well, doing very well so far. So let's have a look at the time to beat at the halfway mark, 38.256. Yes, he's inside, 37.975, so this is an excellent ride from Wolfgang Sacker. Now round to the 3-quarter mark. Yes, it's still green. If it's green, it's inside the time to beat. Now round to 8.75, still just under half a second quicker than the Brazilian Xinyang. Now to the finish, 1:11.259, 1:11.019, and we have a new leader in the men's individual C4 and 5 1-kilometer time trial final. Wolfgang Sacker of Germany into the lead. Marvellous balance from Sacker. It's a very, very fast track, this. 50.69 kilometers per hour he's traveling at. And remember, at its steepest, the banking on the velodrome is at 42 degrees. So C4 athlete, first man from the USA that we've seen in this final, Sam Cavanaugh. He captured 4 medals last year at the Parapan American Games, a gold, a couple of silvers and a bronze. He's the 8 times national champion. He's also the American record holder in the pursuit event. No pursuing necessary here, because this is the time trial. He is attempting, though, to overhaul the German, Wolfgang Sacker's time of 1.11.019. And you can see the time to beat. He's already underneath that through 125 metres, 22.274. Yeah, quarter of the way gone. And he's almost a second faster than the German. And a keen skier. He actually had to have his left leg rather amputated when he was caught in an avalanche 7 years ago. Talk about bouncing back. As soon as he had his prosthetic limb fitted, he cycled 2 days later, takes the bell, still 0.23 inside Sacker's time. Wolfgang Sacker, the German, the current leader. Now he's just drifted slightly, 0.237 outside, round to the finish, 1:11.447 the time to beat, just outside and into fourth place with a time of 1:11.678. As you can see, that's the factored time. He's a C4 rider, Sam Cavanaugh, so into fourth position. So a fine ride, won't be enough to win him a medal here at London 2012. Marvellous balance and concentration from all these athletes. Now after the next competitor, will be halfway through this final, because Jody Jezek of the Czech Republic is the 11th of the 22 to go. And this is a man with form. So his right leg amputation followed a car accident 27 years ago. He's now 37 years of age. And as I say, a man with a history in the Paralympics, because he was a five-time Paralympic champion. Career total of 9 Paralympic Games medals, including 5 golds. Won 4 medals at Beijing 4 years ago. Competed in 2000, 2004, 2008. So it's a long record of success for Jody Jezek. And he's trying to chase down the leader, who was the German Wolfgang Sacker. And there's the split. There's a long way to go. But a quicker start, certainly, than the German. Now around a quarter of the distance already, though. Fallen ever so slightly behind. Round then to the halfway stage, 38.202. 0.27 outside that for Jody Jezek. Pull back a little. Oh, and he's inside now. Last 125 metres, 0.02 ahead of the German. 1:11.447. He's done it. 1:11.005 for Jiří Ježek. Right arm held aloft, blowing kisses to what I have to say is a wonderful crowd. They really have embraced all these athletes at the velodrome. Got some natty headgear there as well. And Jiří Ježek is all smiles. Over 51 kilometers per hour. And in fact, you can see there, he is a C4 athlete, so his time of 1:11.005 has been factored down to 1.10578. And it's the Czech who leads from the German Wolfgang Sacker and the Brazilian Xinyang in third place. So the times are coming down. There's still a fair way, it has to be said, off Paralympic or world records so far. Andrea Tarleo of Italy, 28-year-old C5 athlete, so the time you see will be the time recorded. No factoring involved here. He's a two-time road world champion in the individual time trial. And those 2 years were recent as well, 2010, 2011. This year, in the World Championships, silver medalist in the individual pursuit. Has paralysis in his left arm. As I say, C5 athlete, 1:10.578 of Jiří Ježek of the Czech Republic is the time to beat. And he's half a second quicker. Make that 0.8 of a second. This is some ride so far from Andrea Tarleo of Italy. More than a second quicker at halfway. So Tarleo is on target to take the lead. Round now to the three-quarter mark, 54.192 to beat. Almost a second ahead of that. It's looking good at the moment for the Italian. Grits his teeth now. Just lost that 0.1, 0.2 of a second on the last 125. But there he is into first place. Almost half a second quicker. Andrea Tarleo of Italy, 1:10.175 into the gold medal position goes the Italian. Well, there is confirmation then. This men's time trial, C4 and 5 categories, Tarleo of Italy leading Jezek of the Czech Republic, with Sacker of Germany in third place. Shaping up to be quite a competition, this now. Next up, we have Musashi Ishii of Japan. Just making one or two last-minute adjustments. So here at the Olympic Park Velodrome, this men's individual C4 and 5 1-kilometer time trial. We're just past the halfway point in terms of the number of athletes that we have seen. 22 in this 1-kilometer time trial final. And at the moment, we've seen 12 of them go. Musashi Ishii of Japan, a C4 athlete, 39 years old, is about to start at the moment. Andrea Tarleo of Italy is leading. 1 minute, 10 seconds, .175 for the Italian. Jiří Ježek of the Czech Republic is second. Wolfgang Sacker of Germany in third. And Ishii going well, .623 ahead at the 125 stage. At 250, he's over a second quicker. Excellent stuff from the 2008 Paralympic champion in this event, in world record time as well, 4 years ago. Records have tumbled since then. We're now around 625 metres, and he's still over a second quicker. He'll take the bell now at 750. Just slipped slightly, but still almost a second quicker than Andrea Tarleo of Italy, who was previously in the gold medal position at 8.75. He's still almost a second quicker. Now round to the finish, 1.10598 to beat, 109.659. We have a new leader. It's the Japanese cyclist Musashi Ishii, the 39-year-old. His time will be factored downwards as well, from 109.659 to 109.241. This really is hotting up this cycling competition, this individual C4 and 5 1-kilometer time trial. Being urged on there by his coach, Hitoshi Takahashi, has been coaching Ishii, or is doing at these games anyway. And the married father of 3, Musashi Ishii of Japan, with that factored time of 1:09.241, is now the new leader in this event. Remember, the host nation, Great Britain, have a couple of interested watchers so far at this event. They'll be cycling later. In fact, they'll be last and third to last to go. They are both definitely medal hopes for the host nation. Right now, it's the Japanese who are hoping, though, with Musashi Ishii, as we come to Igor Dementyev of Ukraine, 25-year-old C5 class athlete. Again, so the time you see will be the time that stands. There'll be no factoring involved here. Wonderful event, wonderful velodrome and terrific event, the cycling now. 225 cyclists at this Paralympics, 155 men and 70 women across the road and track events. Each country limited to 21 athletes, though, 14 men and 7 women. And Igor Dementyev round the first 125 metres, 0.054 outside the leading cyclist so far, Ishii, now around at the quarter stage, and he's dropped a little further behind. Remember that screen, time to beat, 28.145 round 375 metres. He's more than half a second slower than that. So a little bit of catching up to do for the Ukrainian. Still almost a second behind leader Ishii of Japan. Takes the bell. I did make up a little bit of ground on that last 1.25, and he's made up a little bit more in fairness. He's only 0.6 now outside the lead, but he really has left himself with a lot to do. 109.241, 109.558. Well, he really turned the screw towards the end there, the Ukrainian. Igor Dementyev is into second place. And that was terrific, really, the way he just got faster and faster and faster. Well, he was always behind Musashi Ishii. But the closer he got to the finish, the closer he got to the leader. And he's in the silver medal position, Igor Dementyev of the Ukraine. Now confirmation. So 1.09.241, the best time so far. Ishii of Japan, Dementyev of Ukraine. Just 0.31 of a second behind. As we come to Chris Ross of New Zealand. He's one of the youngest in the field. He's only 23 years of age. He was born with the lower part of his left arm missing. Only been cycling 3 years. There's Ross. Already this year, in 2012, at the World Championships, finished 5th in the time trial, with a personal best as well. So the crowd urged to be silent for Chris Ross. As well as cycling, he's got a master's degree in urban planning, so he fits plenty into his spare time. He works for a medical supplies company, and he's round the first 125 metres, 0.41 behind the leader, Musashi Ishii of Japan. And still just around about half a second behind the leader, round 250, now round 375. Well, it's pretty steady, that's for sure. If he can finish quickly, you never know. Halfway stage, 0.379 behind the Japanese cyclist. Shaping up to be an excellent competition, this 1 kilometre time trial. We'll take the bell, 52.293. There's 0.68 outside that. Here's Chris Ross. Now round to the finish. He's going to finish just outside the medals, 1:11.569. That leaves him in 8th place. He's a C5 athlete, no factoring involved there. He's 2.3 off the leader. And Musashi Ishii of Japan will be starting to dream perhaps of gold, but he knows that there are some very, very experienced riders still to come. Only 7 riders remain. And after the New Zealander, next we have the Chinese cyclist Yi Zhaofei. The two-time world champion team sprint medalist. Took gold this year, silver last year at the World Championships. A very young competitor, not the youngest. In fact, his compatriot, who's the penultimate cyclist, Liu, was born as recently as 1992, so he's barely 20 years old. Xi is 23. He's a C4 athlete, so his time will be factored down by 0.6%. And the time to beat, 1 minute, 9 seconds, 0.241. And it's the Japanese Musashi Ishii who currently leads. There's the countdown, and away goes Xi Zhaofei. You see how that time to beat, 12.669, that has tumbled at the 125 metre mark as the times have improved. He's just outside it, but only just, quarter of the way through his ride, now at 3:75. Oh, he's ahead, 0.115 ahead of the Japanese Musashi Ishii. Can he keep this going? Round at halfway, 0.332 ahead of Ishii. Fine ride so far from Xi. Next up round to the 3/4 mark. He's almost half a second quicker. Almost 0.6 of a second now quicker than Musashi Ishii. Time to beat it at the next stage at 8:75 is 1:01.020, and he's beaten it by 0.466. Here we go, round to the finish, 1:09.658 to beat, 1:09.276, and that will be factored down to 1:08.860. We have a new leader. It's the Chinese cyclist Xi Zhaofei. There's confirmation of that factored time, 1 minute, 8 seconds, 0.860. Terrific ride. Wonderful ride from Xi. matter of concentration and determination. When you're a track cyclist, you need to be strong and powerful. You have to be tactically aware in some of the disciplines and things like the pursuit, but time trials really, they are about speed. They're about speed, pure and simple. And sometimes, when you're not actually in the velodrome, you forget just how fast these guys are going. 52.279 kilometers per hour. Xi Xiaofei was going there. His factor time, 1 minute, 8 seconds, .860, puts him 0.381 of a second ahead of Musashi Ishii of Japan. Igor Dementiev, by the way, of the Ukraine, is currently in the bronze medal position. Karol Eduard Novak of Romania is next to go. After him, we'll just have 5 more riders in this 1 kilometer time trial. Interestingly, he is actually coached by a couple of Chinese coaches, the Romanian. It's a Chinese athlete who leads. Novak's a 2-time Paralympian winning road time trial medalist. Got a silver in Beijing. Also competed in 2004 as well. He was actually a national champion speed skater for Romania before he had a car accident at the age of 20. That resulted in part of his right leg being amputated. So a quarter of the way through, and he's 0.421 off the pace. When I say the pace, I mean, obviously, the leading cyclist. So round now to the halfway stage. Really have to up the ante here if he's to make an impression on the medals. Novak tears round the corner to take the bell. But I think he's going to be too far outside to be among the medals. His time will be factored down though. He is a C4 athlete, so he comes round now to the finish. 109.275 is the time to beat. 109.809, and that will be factored down to 109.390, and it is enough to take him into the bronze medal position. So we've had slight change then to the standings, with 5 more cyclists still to come. Just look at the way he grits his teeth there. Just over half a second behind the current leader, Xi of China. Acknowledges the applause of this crowd, who have been a truly terrific crowd. There's still lots more cycling still to come. After this, of course, we have finals in the pursuits, C1, C2 and C3 pursuit finals. But 5 more riders remain in this 1 kilometer time trial. And Jiří Buška of the Czech Republic is the next man to ride. Xi of China leads. Ishii of Japan is second. Novak of Romania is third. Buška has polio, which affects the left side of his body. He's a 4 times Paralympic medalist though. Won a silver in the time trial 4 years ago. And also 3 bronze medals, a couple of them in 2004 and another one 4 years ago. So he's a man with a track record. Jiří Buška of the Czech Republic, now 32 years of age. Can he overhaul the Chinese rider Ishii. Well, at the moment, by the very, very finest of margins, he is at the lead at the 1:25 stage. What about 250? No, just drifted outside point 177 off Xi's time. Round to the halfway mark, almost half a second behind Xi Zhaofei, the current leader. Takes the bell. 0.327 of a second behind the leader, Xi. Might be enough to, well, he's cutting a little bit of time there. Only 0.2 behind. All hands to the pump now as we come to the finish. 109.275, 109.391, and it is factored to 108.974, and he's into the silver medal position. Wonderful ride from Jiří Bouška. So again, a change to the standings. No change to the leader, still Xi of China has the lead. Terrific pedal power from Jiří Bouška. Thumbs up from one of his coaching team. And Bouška 0.114 behind the leader. That factored time there, 1.08974 for Jiří Bouška. Xi Zhaofei 108.860 currently in the gold medal positions. Ishii of Japan now drops into the bronze medal position, and we are down to the last 4 cyclists. Because in one sense, you could say the later you go, you know what you have to do. But I guess that's easy to say. You still have to go out there and do it. Now the Spanish rider Alfonso Cabello, who is the youngest rider in this final. He is just 18 years of age, is Cabello. A former competitive swimmer whose left arm was amputated below the elbow. In good form this year. A couple of bronze medals at the World Championships in the team sprint, and also, interestingly, in this event, a 1 kilometre time trial. So silence, please, from the crowd for Alfonso Cabello. 108.860 is the time to beat. Xi Zhaofei of China is the athlete to beat. And Cabello looks as if he's quick out of the blocks. Let's see if that's confirmed by his time. Yes, it is. 11.841. Now round to the 250-metre mark. He's over a second quicker, 1.3 of a second quicker. Now, can he keep this pace up? Yes, 1.69 now, round to the halfway mark. Time to beat, 35.637. Oh, he's well inside it, more than 2 seconds inside it. Can he keep this going? 2.5 seconds ahead. Round to the 3/4 mark, he'll take the bell. Well, he's getting on now for 3 seconds quicker. This is fantastic cycling from Cabello. A shade under the 3 seconds now. Round to the finish, 108.860. He's going to absolutely shatter it. 105.947 is a new world record. Well, you could tell almost the minute he left the trap. It looked quick all the way. And my word, it was quick. It is a new world record for Alfonso Cabello, just 18 years old, and the Spaniard with a time of 105.947 into the gold medal position, and then some. He's almost 3 seconds quicker than Ishii of China, and WR there means world record. No factoring in his time, he's a C5 athlete, but 105.947. His mouth opening and closing, taking in air. And his coach, Salvador Cabeza de Vaca, looked absolutely delighted with a new world record. Previous world record in the C5 category was 1.07.212. And intriguingly, that world record has been snatched from the man who is up next. But first, let's look at the standings. Athlete number 32, Alfonso Cabello, new world record, just under 1 minute and 6 seconds, has the lead. 3 cyclists remain to go. And listen now to the cheers for Jon-Allan Butterworth. And it was his world record that has just been broken. Not just broken, absolutely shattered by almost 1 1/4 seconds. Butterworth, coached by Chris Ferber, lost his left arm 5 years ago while serving in the British Army. The 2 times time trial world champion on the track, 2010 and 2011. And now he knows he has it all to do if he's to win gold here. Not had the best of run-ups to the Olympics. He's broken his collarbone, not just once, but twice in the run-up to London 2012. If he wants gold, he's going to have to set a new world record. What is Jon-Allan Butterworth made of? Well, here is the countdown. 3 riders to go, including Butterworth. And he's round the first 1, 2, 5 in. Well, he's more than a second behind, so he's a lot to do. Nowhere near as quick a start as the Spaniard for the 26-year-old Briton. Over a second behind still, around 3.75. Of course, that doesn't mean he can't get a medal of any sort. At the moment, it's looking very unlikely to be gold at the halfway stage, 1.3 behind, but that would put him in the silver medal position quite comfortably. Now, can he claw back any time on the Spaniard? Well, he has done just a little bit. Round the 3/4 mark and takes the bell, and he's under a second behind now. What's his sprint finish like? Might have left himself a little bit too much to do. Well, he's only half a second behind now. Terrific end to the race. 105.947 to beat, 105.985. He's a C5 athlete. There'll be no factoring involved. He's into the silver medal position, Jon-Allan Butterworth. And in the end, wow, he came so close to matching the Spaniard Alfonso Cabello. 0.038 of a second behind Alfonso Cabello. On any other day, at any other track, it'd be good enough. It would comfortably beat his old world record, comfortably, by 1 1/4 seconds. But here, at the moment, it's only good enough for silver, and still 2 athletes remain. Well, it was a ride that just got better and better and better. He was almost 1.5 seconds behind in the end. Hauled that back to .038 behind the Spaniard. And there you can see what it means to his coach, Chris Ferber. Can't quite believe, I don't think, how close he got in the end. But terrific ride nonetheless. At the moment his head is down, but well, needs to lift it straight back up. He's in the silver medal position. The worst he can finish is fourth. There's the leader, the Spaniard, Cabello. It's all down to Liu Xinyang of China. And the other Briton riding in this final, Jody Cundy, can do. Liu is a 3-times world champion silver medalist. And 2 of those 3 were this year. One of them in this event. Very keen mountain biker. Asian Games champion of a couple of years ago. Just 20 years of age. We find margins now. Liu is a C5 athlete as well, so again, the time you see is the time that will stand. Jody Cundy of Great Britain, the last man to go, C4 athlete, so his time will be factored. Cabello of Spain leads. Butterworth of Great Britain is second. Ishii of China is third. What can Liu of China do? Can he pip his compatriot of bronze? Or can he go even better than that? Almost 0.8 behind after 1:25. Now at the quarter stage, over a second behind. It was a terrific ride by the Spaniard, though. Out of this world, now 1.5 seconds behind. Approaching the halfway mark. Well, he's got quite a lot of work to do here. Almost 2 seconds off the pace. Might be good enough if he can keep this up for the bronze. He might pip his compatriot Ishii to the bronze, although Cundy of Great Britain is still to go. Round the last 1:25, he's still almost 2 seconds behind the leaders. Won't beat Cabello, won't beat Butterworth, but will go into third place. Will pip Liu Xinyang, Xi Zhaofei to the bronze at present, but there is still one athlete remaining, and that athlete is Jody Cundy. It was a good ride from Zhang Liu. Unfortunately for him, Cabello and Butterworth really have set the bar high. In fact, his time of 1.07.638 would have been very, very close to a world record and would have beaten Mark Bristow's Paralympic record from Beijing. The problem for Liu, in third place you can see there, is that Cabello and Butterworth have been phenomenal today. That world record from the Spaniard Cabello, Jon-Allan Butterworth in second place, and Liu will get the bronze unless Jody Cundy, and he's a real big medal hope for the host nation. Coached by Chris Ferber, won 2 gold medals at the Paralympic Games in 2008, the track time trial and the team sprint. He's competed in the Paralympic Games in '96, in 2000, in 2004, and he competed there in swimming, winning 3 gold and 2 bronze medals. He has the best pedigree in the entire competition. He's the 5 times track cycling world champion, the two-time swimming world champion, born with a foot disability, had his right leg amputated below the knee at the age of just 3 years. He's now 33, Jody Cundy. Massive cheers from the home crowd for Great Britain's Jody Cundy. Absolutely packed arena, the velodrome at the Olympic Park. They want absolute silence here for Jody Cundy. At the moment, his compatriot Jon-Allan Butterworth is in silver medal position. Liu of China in bronze. Alfonso Cabello, 18-year-old Spaniard, in the gold medal position. And away he goes. And I think he's going to claim that there was a problem there with the mechanism at the start. He's a C4 athlete, Jody Cundy. Let's have a look at this again with the starting gate. Yeah, it looked like there was a problem with the gate. Arm went up immediately. Went completely offline. So if I overheard correctly there, it was slightly off microphone. The gate's stuck. I had wheel spin all the way. But I think, judging by the body language here, Jody Cundy is not going to be given the opportunity to have a restart here. I think possibly they need to have a look at the replay. I think from what we saw, I don't think is it a problem with the bike? I don't think it is a problem with the bike. It looked like it was a problem with the gate. Well, here's another opportunity for us to have a look. It doesn't look like Jody Cundy is going to be given a restart. They're saying they haven't done anything to the gate. You can see the way he flipped out to the left-hand side. His back wheel almost buckled. Well, we could be in here for a little wait at the moment of the judge at the starting gate. Seems to feel that it was a problem with either Cundy or his bike, and there was nothing untoward there. At the moment, it's going down as a DNF, did not finish. And it looks like being a bleak day for Jody Cundy. He was the favourite to take gold. I think the real disappointment here is that we're not even seeing whether he could have managed that. It was a terrific ride from Alfonso Cabello. Cundy, I'm sure, would have loved to have pit his wits against Cabello. He faces a nervous wait to see whether he will take the gold. It's unofficial at the moment that Cabello is the gold medal winner. One or two nods. He can't afford to smile yet. He's got the world record. Now Jody Cundy took his helmet off, but he's put it straight back on. I can only assume that behind the scenes appeals are taking place here. Well, I don't know whether you could hear in the background there. The official's decision is that the gate was not faulty. So he's all smiles. That's Xinyang of China, who has taken the bronze medal. I don't know whether Great Britain are going to make any further appeals, but that is the result of the men's time trial. All in some ways a little unsatisfactory. The C4 and C5 categories. What was not in doubt was Alfonso Cabello of Spain, 18 years of age. An absolutely magnificent performance with a new world and Paralympic record, 1.05.947.